What is going on, guys? Greetings of peace. Now I'm gonna play this trailer. It's from NBC. It's Megyn Kelly to interview Alex Jones of Infowars. It's a trailer. It's gonna be on June 18, 2017. I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna analyze the trailer. And again, Alex Jones, he's a liar. Just because mainstream media lies doesn't mean alternative media doesn't lie. It's uh, it's like two people arguing. One side saying 2 plus 2 is 3, and the other side saying 2 plus 2 is 5. When in reality, 2 plus 2 is 4. And I'll give you guys a quick analogy. It's like catching two criminals, and one criminal is blaming the other criminal when you have them separated in jail and you're asking them questions, and then the other criminal says that it's the other criminal's fault when in reality it's both their faults and they're both liars. But again, take a look at this trailer and I'll break it down and analyze the stupidity of Alex Jones.
Because authoritarianism knows humanity's awakening, and it's moving against humanity on a planetary scale. The great global battle for the future of our species is being fought right now.
They call you the most paranoid man in America. Is that true?
Absolutely not. A paranoid person will be hiding out in their house, not venturing out in public. I go out there on the street and battle Black Lives Matter, the communists at point blank range.
We talked controversies and conspiracies.
9/11.
Now, 9/11 was an inside job, but when I say inside job, it means criminal elements in our government working with Saudi Arabia and others wanted to frame Iraq for it. Just a fact.
Sandy Hook.
Well, Sandy Hook's complex because I've had debates where we've devil's advocates said the whole story's true, and then I've had debates where I've said that none of it's true.
When you say parents faked their children's death, people get very angry.
Yeah, well, I know, but they don't get angry about the 500,000 dead Iraqis from the sanctions, or they don't get angry about all the
That's a
illegals pouring
dodge.
in. No, it's not a dodge.
I had to stop the trailer right there, and I will resume it right after this, but I just have to say something. Here Alex Jones claims he cares about civilians and stuff and the people in Iraq. Again, this guy politicizes issues. He's not sincere. And he does selective journalism where he'll report on stuff, doesn't report on stuff, and he spews out lies and propaganda. But back to what I was saying, with him claiming to care about the civilians. Well, here's the sad news. This liar supports another liar by the name of Donald Trump. And the drone strike program under Barack Obama was, I think, 90% of the times they got civilians. And then Donald Trump increased that program by 432%. Again, this is what Alex Jones, he supports the liar, Donald Trump. And then there's this other policy, it's called double tapping. Whenever the Air Force does a strike, they'll wait for first responders to come, and then they'll circle around and then they'll hit it again. So now you're purposely hitting first responder and civilians. That's terrorism. And Donald Trump said that he wants to target and kill the family of terrorists and stuff. Again, let me give this an analogy for Alex Jones' fans if they're listening. Can you imagine if what Dylan Roof did was a evil act, but can you imagine if somebody decided to implement Trump's policy and they go in and they drone strike Dylan Roof's family? Does that make any sense? No, that's a war crime. That's disgusting. But yeah, I'm gonna resume the trailer. But
The media never covers all the evil wars it's promoted, all the
That
big
doesn't
things.
excuse what you did and said about Newtown. You
But
know it.
here's the difference. I looked at all the angles of Newtown, and I made my statements long before the media even picked up on it. We didn't get any of the really important stuff.
What do you mean? We talked about all the important stuff.
Well, here's the big one they always make fun of me. You probably want to throw this in there. 30 years ago, they began creating animal-human hybrids. Isn't that the big story Megyn Kelly should be doing?
before I review the trailer, I'm gonna give an analogy and then I'm gonna break down the stupidity of Alex Jones. Again, this man is known for lying, spreading falsehoods and propaganda, and just because he says 1 + 1 is 2, and then he can give 200 different lies on top of that. He can tell you 2 + 2 is not 4, blah 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 blah, when in reality 2 + 2 is 4. And again, it's like a person who tells you one truth and 99 lies. That doesn't mean you take everything he says as truth. But again, the analogy for Alex Jones would be, I'll give an animal analogy since it's easy for people to understand. So there's this donkey, and he wants to be tough and act cool, so he wears a lion mask and he goes into the village where there's the animals, and the animals see him coming and they get scared and they run away. And then the donkey feels good about himself. Again, he's an impersonator. And then he decides to roar like a lion. And when he opens his mouth and he roars, it doesn't sound like a lion. And then the animals are like, what's going on? They turn around and they start laughing because they know it's not a lion. And everyone's just laughing at the donkey while he's wearing the mask. Because once he opens his mouth, you see the stupidity of the donkey. And he takes his mask off and everyone just starts laughing at him because they realize he's not a lion. And that analogy fits Alex Jones.
Megyn Kelly lied to me several weeks before she came here, and she said that the interview was not going to be about Sandy Hook and the mass shooting there, and it was not going to be about Pizzagate and these other issues that the media always obsesses on and misrepresents what I've said and what I've done. When I said I believe children died at Sandy Hook, as I've said for years, she kept coming back with answers saying, you believe nobody died. You believe Anderson Cooper was involved. You believe that Robbie Parker was involved. On and on and on. I said, no. I said, my listeners questioned it. I had debates with both sides, and I played devil's advocate, saying maybe none of it happened or it was all fake, just like they lied about WMDs in Iraq and had all those fake sanctions that killed over 500,000 Iraqi children. But then I said the other side of me believes those parents I've seen on TV, and real mass shootings do happen, so it probably did happen. But that I tend to believe people did die there, that they were just using PR teams to go in to exacerbate it and hype it up to get the maximum effect, to blame the American people and to blame gun owners for what happened.
Because with other false flags like 9/11 or Oklahoma City or the Boston bombing, at least something happened. With Sandy Hook, there's no there. You've got a bunch of people walking around a parking lot. It's pretty much what it comes down to. And none of the evidence...
No, I've had the investigators on. I've had the state police have gone public. You name it. The whole thing is a giant hoax. And the problem is, how do you deal with a total hoax? I mean, it's just... How do you even convince the public something's a total hoax? But it took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake. I mean, even I couldn't believe it. I knew they jumped on it, used the crisis, hyped it up, but then I did deep research, and my gosh, it just pretty much didn't happen. Unbelievable. Stay with us. Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors, in my view, manufactured. I couldn't believe it at first. I knew they had actors there, clearly, but I thought they killed some real kids. And it just shows how bold they are that they clearly used actors.
We've seen him lie. I'll give you guys an example. Alex Jones, again, he claimed that the Quran says, and again, this is what he says. He said that blacks, according to Alex Jones, they don't have souls. This is what he said the Quran says. And again, it doesn't say that. He's a liar. And then we see him lying about the year or Y2K or whatever. I'll leave a description about that in the video. Again, just Google or YouTube Alex Jones lies. He's told so many lies. He spreads falsehood. And in this video, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to listen to a section where I'm not going to listen to it, but he tells Megyn Kelly to start talking about animal-human hybrids and stuff. Again, this guy is obsessed with Islam and Muslims, and if you go to his channel, that's all he talks about is the left wing, communists, Antifa, George Soros, all this stuff, and he doesn't cover the real news. And then he claims, and you see, he's just another right-wing hack spewing out his propaganda. But back to what I was saying, he tells Megyn Kelly, why don't you talk about animal-human hybrids? That should be the big story. Well, if it's the big story and mainstream media is dying, why don't you cover it so you can get more views? Again, he doesn't cover this story. He's always busy talking about Muslims and Islam and lying about them because he can't handle the truth and he doesn't know the truth. Or maybe he's just lying on purpose. And then just go to his videos. It's immature and childish stuff. And if you ever talk with somebody who actually believes Alex Jones's ideology, they are some of the dumbest people. They literally regurgitate everything Alex Jones says and their talking points, and they're so easy to rebuttal. And Alex Jones literally contradicts himself when it comes to his conspiracy theories. And then we see Alex Jones lying about Sandy Hook. He said that it was a false flag and the entire thing was fake. And when he's being interviewed with Megyn Kelly, he says something else. Again, reflect upon this, guys. The guy's a liar.